Those flowers, girl, huh? Come on. How cool, huh? Come on. Come on. There we go. They keep the city really nice here. They really do. They just watered the flowers just a few minutes ago. Gypsy likes the smell of the flowers, and she likes to stop and smell the ones downtown. Foggy and overcast still this morning. The coastal layers still here, which means we're up earlier and at least out the door earlier than we have been lately. We're going to try to make it all the way to the water this morning. I'm not sure. We've only made it there, I think, once, twice this week. Most of you know I'm having a little bit of a knee issue, to say the least. But we're going to try our best. Doesn't look like anyone's on here right now, which is fine. You guys can watch this later. Or not. You know, maybe somebody will watch it 20 years from now. Who knows? Yeah, I do this about, well, I used to do it every morning, and I'm trying to get back into doing it every morning I can. Doing our little walks and chit chats with people. It's a really beautiful place here where we live, so I like to film it a lot. Especially early mornings are my thing. I need to do some nighttime filming from the beach. It's what I need to do. It's summer now, so there's a lot of tourists here. Doesn't look like it right now. I'm in Old Town, as they call it, where all the older businesses and buildings are. 2 blocks the other way from my house, and you're on Highway 101, which is the scenic Highway 101 coastal highway that goes from California all the way up to Washington. All coastal. I believe it's the traveled road there is, probably besides Interstate I-5, which we're close to the I-5 corridor too, as they call it. No, it's not fire. It's fog. It's coastal layer. We're really close to the water. We're just a few blocks from the river that feeds into the Pacific Ocean, which is where I'm trying to get to now. And then 3.5 miles from here, you're on the beach staring at the Pacific Ocean. So we get heavy fog. Hey, thank you. Thank you for even taking the time to click on this video. But yeah, I saw somebody locally ask that earlier. They were like, what's on fire? And when I stepped out, I was almost expecting it, but no, this isn't smoke. Sorry, girl. I just almost tripped over you. But no, as I was saying, sorry about that. I almost tripped over Gypsy, not paying attention to what I'm doing. Atlantic coast, gotcha. I've been there once. Jersey and New York's the Atlantic, right? I've been on the beach there a couple times, way back, like, 15 years ago. Yeah, we used to live in the valley, a small logging community inland, and it was okay. I loved it there, I really did, but it had a lot of issues. It's nothing like the coast. What's that? No, it doesn't. You can't smell the fog here. It smells like ocean water. But I can always smell the water. So can Gypsy. The closer we get to it, the more excited she gets. Florida, gotcha. It's humid there, I hear. I've never been there, but up there in the mountains, which you can't see because of the fog and because my camera's not that good, there's a lot of really nice houses, dude. Like multi-million dollar houses. Million to multi-million easily, just with the property, let alone the houses that are there. And they're the big houses that have like 100 windows in them because for some reason rich people have to have a lot of windows. I guess if you live on a piece of property where no poor people are around and stuff, I guess you can go ahead and have all your stuff looked at. And I say that sarcastically because I'm as poor as it gets. I just think it's ridiculous. Not that they have their houses and stuff, but just the differences between all of us. Synthetic fog here. Really? I haven't heard of that. I'm gonna have to look into that. Is this a new thing? Yeah, that's scary right there. Really scary. Anything that comes over that ocean that's not real or doesn't seem real or normal is scary. It really is. The ocean itself is pretty scary. Yeah, you better have a good respect for it. Wow. Yeah, that's scary, dude. There's been a couple times here, and I know the skies get colorful here, and they really do. Wait till I start posting sky pictures. But one day we were encompassed in a purple hue that seemed to glow off the buildings and everything. The sky was so bright. I mean, it was really weird. I've got pictures of it somewhere, and I'll try to post to the community page later and make a slideshow if I can find them. But it was one of those things where it was really eerie. And then about a week or two later, we had an earthquake that caused us all to be evacuated in case of tsunami. First evacuation here in over 30 years. And it was very freaking scary. But yeah, the ocean covers like 90% of the earth. Very powerful, very scary, and who knows what lies in it. We've discovered less than 1% of it. Heck, honestly, here on Earth, we've discovered and explored maybe a percentage, a small percentage of everything here. That's why I don't get why we're so concerned with going other places. It's like we still have a lot to discover here, and we could fix what's here. All right, we're almost to the river, guys. Let me catch my breath. Sorry, guys. This here's a little fish cleaning station for people to do fishing and stuff. I'm not a fisherman. I went a couple times with my dad in Kansas when I was a kid, but not my thing. I'm more of the have a fish in a fishbowl type and admire them. And I don't even want to do that. I want to leave them right where they are. But sorry, guys. Gypsy's got to stop and appreciate a hydrant. Gypsy's a girl, by the way, but she lifts her leg like a boy sometimes. She's an American Pit Bull Terrier / Catalua Pit Bull. They're bred down south for hunting wild hog. Gypsy's not a working dog. She lays on the couch with me. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I was vegetarian for over a year. Me and my wife were, and I really want to go back to it. I don't care what anyone else does. I mean, I do, but I'm responsible for me and what I do here on this earth. And it just doesn't make me feel good when I think about it. It makes me really weird with food sometimes too, to where I have trouble eating. Yeah, I don't know, especially the older I get, the more empathy I have, and the more I realize what we've done to them is awful. It is awful. It is barbaric. Yeah, it's gross. Yeah, I agree. The food is poisonous. We all need to grow our own, like my wife says. Everything they push on us is poison. And then they'll come out years later and be like, oh, well, this might cause bad things. And it's like you guys knew it was causing bad things when you were profiting off it. Now you just want to sell us something new. So over there is a big sand dune. That's not a mountain right there. It's all sand. A lot of BMXers, ATVers. I almost said MTVers. I'm sure MTV has been there at some point. It's the biggest sand dunes in the United States, as far as I know. Okay, see if we can get down here. There's a lot of people here. And Gypsy's not always the most well-behaved, so we're going to do the best we can. Hold on, guys. Come on. But yeah, honestly, I think that's why a lot of us have the dream of, and they've kind of sold the dream to us too, with the housing crisis and all that they've caused. But I really want to jump in a van with my wife and just be free. As hard as that life is, because it really isn't as easy as people think it is. We have no savings or anything. We'd be hustling place to place, but there's a certain freedom to waking up somewhere new and not being chained down. That being said, I'm also 47 and in worse shape than a 47-year-old should be in, but that's my dream. Before I leave this earth, I'm gonna be a nomad for a while. All right, we're almost to the water. Hold on, I see something swimming in the water. What the heck? Oh, I believe that's an otter. Hold on, guys. That's either an otter or we got something even better. See if we can spot it again, but this is our favorite spot. This is saltwater and freshwater called brackish. It goes in and out with the tide. This right here feeds directly into the Pacific Ocean about 3.5 miles that way. Oh no, there's mountains and hills and canyons and 200-foot drop-offs next to the road. Yeah, it's Lewis and Clark country out here. I'm from Kansas where it's flat and there's not much going on. So when I came out here, I really, really fell in love with it. And I'm not even an outdoor guy normally. There's a reason why they filmed so many movies here. Stand By Me was filmed within an hour from here near Cottage Grove. Fire in the Sky was filmed back in Oakland, Oregon. Animal House was filmed here. Not here, but in Salem, I believe. Dang it, man. I saw whatever that was in the water was big enough to where I saw it from the shore. And it was at least 100 or 200 feet out, like where that boat is. And I saw it pop its head up, and it was pretty big. It must have been a sea lion. But it went back under and never came back up. I like to keep my eye on them, especially if we go near the docks. Gypsy spotted one last rain season down on the dock, and we were on the above dock, but she spotted it below, smelled it, and then saw it. And those things weigh sometimes 300, 600 pounds, if not more. They're huge. Gypsy saw it, she freaked out, and to this day, I'm lucky if I can get her up the boardwalk most days, because she'll turn around if she smells or senses something, and I always follow her cue, especially since bears have been spotted down here on camera before. I think so. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure we do. I've been here. I've been here on the coast for about a year and a half now. I've been in Oregon longer, but mating season, that makes sense. Yeah, I know it's also the season they start telling us not to keep our dogs away from the river water because it's got algae in it. But down here, I don't think that would ever happen. Like I said, it's salt water and it moves in and out pretty good. I know sea foam can be dangerous to dogs too. All right, Gypsy, you don't need to be tracking other dogs. Come on. I got Gypsy all the way through the boardwalk the other morning. Let's see if we can do it today. Like I said, I don't force her. If she doesn't want to go, we turn around. Here's the boat dog. And this is the Smith and the Umpqua River where they converge. As far as I know, I got corrected by just calling it the Umpqua by a local. So if I'm wrong again, please tell me. Chainsaw carving. Reedsport's known as the chainsaw carving capital of Oregon. This here is the Big Fish restaurant. This is the boardwalk. This, as you can see, this is actually part of an old retired ship with a building, built around it as well. And you can eat inside the hull, or you can eat inside the wheelhouse or on the deck even, by reservation. Me and my wife went there for, I believe it was her birthday or our anniversary, probably our anniversary last year. The food was great. The service was great. Pricing, well, it's high everywhere, but it was honestly good pricing too for such a classy place. Bird. Oh, there it is. Yeah. All right, girl, come on. You good? All right, let's see what it says on here we got. That's just fish. Fort Lauderdale. Man, Florida seems like a really fun place. Oh, no. Are you not going to do it, girl? She hears the water, and she's like, no, Dad. All right, do you want to turn around? You want to turn around? No? You want to go? Sometimes it takes her a minute to make up her mind. It's okay, girl. It's okay. There's nothing down there that's going to hurt us up here. Come on. All right, let's go. Let's go. All right, she's not having it, guys. Sorry. Gypsy used to love it. She's normally a really adventurous dog, but like I said, that spooked the heck out of her. It really did, and I don't blame her. And then, like I said, last rain season, there, just about 500 feet from where we are, in one of the city cameras here, they posted a picture of a bear with her cubs that was coming down here digging through trash, and of course, trying to get fish and stuff out of the water. And during that time of year, it stays dark late in the morning, so me and her are out in complete darkness down here. And every time she'd get spooked, it would spook me, of course. Oh yeah, dogs have really good instinct. When they're scared, you should be scared. I always follow Gypsy's instinct. If her behavior's off, I can tell. Just like she can with me. This is the backside of Old Town. Like I said, this is the older side of town. This here is a dike wall, which has, as you can see, slots where they put big metal doors to block it completely off in case of tsunami or flood. I could see where it would help in the case of a flood, but a tsunami, not so much. I mean, it would block a little bit of the water for a second, but that'd be it. Some art on the wall there. Really good art. Like I said, we were evacuated for a possible tsunami. Heck, it's probably been 6-7 months ago now, seems like, but maybe even 8 or 9 months, close to a year. But it was very traumatic and caused me a lot of anxiety. for months afterwards, if I'd take my medication at night, I'd start getting panic attacks because I was like, what if I sleep through a siren, or what if, we don't get an alert? Yeah, I've never been in a hurricane, but we get storms here during the winter that are very strong, and we had gale force winds here quite a few times this last winter, but no real hurricane, so to speak. No, like I said, I've never been through anything like that. I can imagine it's pretty thrilling to watch at times, but I can imagine it's pretty scary too. Yeah, storm time on any coast is a little treacherous. A lot of people here go out to the big stone jetties on the water here, and every year gets swept out to sea. And it's like, guys, come on. People go up there and try to take thrilling pictures for their Facebook, and then end up being swept out and having to be rescued if they're lucky. I lived in Kansas where we had tornadoes all the time. And tornado sirens would go off so much, we became so used to them, we didn't even hardly pay attention to them, sadly. But I lived near several towns that were taken out throughout my life by tornadoes. Luckily, I've never been in one. I've been in tornado warnings, and to where that we've been warned to take shelter. And I've seen a funnel cloud start to form, but that's as close as I've been. And hail about the size of damn softballs once there, and golf ball size a few times there. Yeah, Kansas gets storms too. We have sirens here that go off every time there's a wreck or anything, or a fire where they need, we have volunteer firemen and EMS and stuff here because of us being in a tsunami zone. Not a lot of people want to do this. But yeah, so they set them off every time, and then they're like, well, if it goes off and it stays on, it's a tsunami, and sometimes it'll stay on 3-4 minutes for an accident. So, yeah, I don't think there's any real warning for us. Yeah, climate change is a very real thing, dude. And the people that argue that it's not just aren't that smart. I've watched the weather change dramatically out here on the coast since I got here 9 years ago. And where you're going to be able to tell a lot of climate change right offhand is going to be on the coast areas, because we're right by the ocean, which controls a lot of our climate. But yeah, it gets hotter here every year. The storms get worse during the winter. Yeah, last year here on the coast, the average high is usually 70 degrees, which this year it's kept to that, and it's been pretty nice. But last year we got up to 96 degrees for like a few days at a time, a few weeks in a row, and it was just horrendous. Even the air here by the ocean was hot. And people are like, oh, 70 degrees or 90 degrees and you're complaining. I'm complaining because that's extremely hot here with the ocean water right there. And not only that, but it's not normal. They said it was a world record high for over here. Everyone here was complaining. And honestly, selfishly, one of the reasons why I love living here is the weather. I enjoy the storms, even though they get pretty bad. I enjoy the weather because I don't like the heat. In the valley, we lived in a small logging community, well, a small inner city. It was pretty wild, but it would get up to 100. A couple summers in a row got up to 110, 112. We had to leave our mobile home and go sit at the river. And it's no fun to be out and about at the river if you're forced to be there because it's too hot to go home. Yeah, I'm much happier here. Ugh, man, 111 inside the car, man. Gross, huh? And the humidity. because I don't know about, I'm sure you guys have really bad humidity in Kansas. I stepped off a plane to go visit my mom when she had surgery a few years ago, and I stepped off the plane in summer there in Kansas after not being there for 5 years. And I was completely drenched and sticky and gross as soon as I got off the plane until the moment I left there a week later. It was awful. It'll choke you out. That's the problem there in the South and Midwest, is the humidity. If it's just blazing heat, that's hot too, and that's deadly. But with that humidity, man, it makes it to where you don't even want to exist. Honestly, since being here on the coast, it's the only summers I've truly enjoyed, because, sorry about the phone, hold on. It's because I've truly enjoyed it, because I'm not dying of heat stroke, you know? Yep, exactly. Yep, we have fans and houses and apartments for a reason, my friend. And that's just get out of the elements. And yeah, I'm not trying to be out in the elements like that. In fact, when it gets really hot, of course, Gypsy can't handle it either. She gets overheated faster than I do. And when it gets really hot, she hates it, but I make her stay real close to the house when we walk, which I do most days now anyway, because of my knee, but my wife walks her too for longer walks. But yeah, I make her stick close to the house. And last couple days in the yard, I've had to make her come in because she tries to sunbathe in the sun and don't know when to come in. She found herself a stick. Every summer she starts a stick collection at some point. Most of the time she'll make it home with the stick if it's one she really likes. And she'll leave it at the door. Last summer we had a little pile of them there that she kept collecting. And if she gets a really big one and a really nice one, she'll walk with such a swagger to her. Like, look what I did. Wow. Yeah, that's hot then, huh? We got Gypsy a little baby pool for the yard. We empty it and put it up most every night, or try to, because I don't want kids or smaller animals or anything falling in it or anything, even though it's a small one. But yeah, we put it up during the day, and Gypsy will go drag it out and start scratching inside it and barking like, "Mom, Dad, there's no water." Oh, I'm sorry. If I didn't have Gypsy, I'd be totally distraught and heartbroken. Me and her are bonded. She's part of our family. It's not just me. My wife and her have a special bond. She's not my dog. She's my companion. She's my family member. So whatever the circumstances are, I'm sorry. You have no idea how that makes me feel just hearing that for you. It makes me sad, but I'm sorry. Gypsy's 4 years old, and so far I've been lucky, and she's been in perfect health. No sicknesses, no real injuries, nothing like that. And I pray all the time that nothing happens to her, because I'm not strong enough to deal with it, that's for sure. That'd be a very dark period of my life that I'm not ready for and that I don't ever want to do. I bet they did. That's what matters. I spoil the heck out of Gypsy. They're like little toddlers. We raise them from babies to toddlers, and they just never kind of grow out of that stage, even as they get old. And mine's treated like one. Ooh, there's a mouse running across the road. Don't see that often. You probably There we go. Alright, well, we're going to go this way because I don't want some mouse running up my leg, because then I will freak. Probably from the field over here. They just mowed. I don't wish any harm on little mice or rats, but I don't want them in my house and I don't want them near me, you know. But yeah, Gypsy sleeps on the couch, goes out in and out to the yard whenever she wants. She's spoiled. Loves to play dress up. She loves to wear her hoodie during the winter. In fact, you even get it out and she sees it, she'll start going crazy for it, trying to duck her head into it. My wife has started dressing her up as a puppy and she just loves it. She likes to be comfortable. This here goes right to the Highway 101, right down there. Hold on, there's a dog in a truck, so bear with me here. Gypsy, no ma'am. Gypsy barks at other dogs. That's one of the biggest downfalls of her behavior, but it's from, she was attacked by a couple smaller dogs when she was a puppy, and since then she's like, nope, not having it, Dad. She's a spoiled only child. Well, we have a cat now, and which is her companion. Even though they get along like Garfield and Odie, but this is a field right by our house. This field actually in the street right here is 10 to 12 feet below sea level, below river level. So if it ever floods, yeah, we're in the tsunami zone. Come on, girl. All right, guys. I'm coming up on my house, and I don't want to wake my old lady or anybody else up. So I'm going to get off here, and I want to leave you with a couple words. I want to say thank you for those of you that came in. Katie, I can't tell you how nice it's been talking to you. Please subscribe if you like boring chit-chat like this. All right, guys, I'm going to leave you with this. Take care of yourselves because we live once. You got to be happy to make other people happy, and 2, take care of each other because we're all we got. All right, guys, I'll see you on the flip side.